hey, I haven't made a bunch of videos in a while, so I thought I might give an update on my New Year's resolution. For those of you who don't know, I had set a tentative New Year's resolution that I was going to try to beat a total of 30 video games by the end of this year. My goal is to beat maybe about 30 of them. Let's say 30. I beat 24 last year, as I do keep track, just because it's fun for me. And I had 6 in particular that I wanted to do in addition to the 24 that I'd like to match from last time. I'm a little bit behind on my schedule that I've set for myself, but I have beaten a number of titles. And I thought I might share some of my brief thoughts on some of them. So in particular, I have beaten 3 new games since I've made that update. One of them is Yakuza Like a Dragon. Game made me weak.
This one's a real classic.
I took some time with the game, and for the people who have played it, you'll understand. I went to the effort to do the business management minigame, as I did in Yakuza 0, to get the extra bonus stuff, and that was a smart decision. The story, as it always is, was very captivating. I had wondered how they were going to make the new protagonist be likable, but I shouldn't have questioned that in hindsight, because, my god, he's wonderful. My favorite thing, but also my least favorite thing, is that when they introduce some of the legacy characters, they treat them with the kind of respect that I would expect. Because when you show up, and this is where I'm going to draw a line and say that this is sort of a spoiler, but I think this shows up in the trailers, I might be wrong. When you finally get to about, like, maybe halfway, 2/3 of the way through the game, and you meet, like, Goro Majima, that's where the game says... I'm trying to think of how to, like, word this. Right before you go to do that, the game opens up the option for you to go to an optional training area where you do, like, sort of a multi-floor dungeon, not uncommon in RPGs.
Optional.
Optional in air quotes. And by optional, the game basically says, no. There's a reason why we told you to go do that. Optional was a formality. No. You are going to go grind, and that is your choice. Because whenever one of the legacy characters pops up, it kind of, it walls you off from being able to progress until you, like, actually level up more. And it comes across initially as frustrating, but only for a brief moment until you think about it that, like, if an RPG, and old RPGs, it is not uncommon for that sort of thing to happen, especially with boss fights, it sort of makes sense that if a game company were, in this day and age, to engineer that to happen, as opposed to not knowing how game balance works, it works in this case, because I'm sitting here knowing, oh, it is fine that these characters are steamrolling me because that is what they did. And even after you beat them, you don't really beat them. They're just like, oh, maybe we should start trying now. Oh, we don't got time. We gotta go. It's great.
Daigo's just like, what are you doing?
And Majima is just like, what? Where you been? We're having fun! Like, anyway. The English dub is so good that I don't think I can reasonably play other Japanese subtitled games, or rather dubbed games, because, my god, they put in a special kind of effort. I mean, there's a reason why in their advertising for it in the Western release that they used all the English voice actors, and they had Keiji Tang, the voice actor for Ichiban Kasuga, explaining that, yeah, we were able to dub this well because of this new technology, all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, well, take my word for it. It worked very well, because I played the entire Yakuza franchise in Japanese, except that one. And Drew and Bryant played it in Japanese.
No, I played it half and half.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I found
No, you
out,
didn't.
I found out that the dude who runs the bar is David Hayter. I'm like,
Sure, Jan.
you're gay.
Okay. Is that homophobia, I hear?
I'm gay.
So, can I say gay? Is that allowed?
Sure.
Okay, I have the gay pass. That sounds like a ticket to the gay bar. Like I have a membership at one.
I got a pass. I'm a card-carrying member.
If anyone in my audience is actually gay and they take offense to that, I'm very sorry.
I'll apologize too.
I thought it was kind of funny.
You got your pet.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it because like we're gonna get into a territory that's actually gonna get me or you canceled.
Go ahead, cancel the gay guy for saying gay.
Shut up. Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next one. I don't remember. I don't think this was No, I think this was the order. Then I beat Pokemon Red, and I'm gonna reveal how much of a Pokemon nerd I am now. I wanted to get through Pokemon Red, and it was the 3DS re-release, by the way. I wanted to get through that because playing Pokemon games in the modern versions, I understand that now that you can transfer from that first generation of games because of the 3DS re-release, there are moves that you can have in Pokemon that you couldn't before. And I really liked the idea of having a Charizard know Fissure. Because Fissure was a TM back in those days, and you could teach it to a lot of people. As a matter of fact, you get it for beating Giovanni, the final gym leader. So I wanted to get through that game quickly. I also did the missing no glitch, or no, the Mew glitch. I managed to get Mew, so I played through the game with a Mew. I also kind of cheesed the crap out of the game because I wanted to get through quickly. So what I did was I learned that if you do the glitch to get missing no, when you encounter missing no, the 6th item in your bag will be duplicated to 256. So what I did was I found a rare candy, put it on my 6th slot, did that, leveled on my Pokemon up to the point of making the rest of the game trivial. It was great. So I beat that. It was good. Fine. What's hilarious, though, is I still haven't even done the Fissure Charizard thing and put it on the modern game yet. I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know why. But the latest game that I beat... Oh, God. Something wanted to come back out. That was interesting. The latest game that I beat was Doom Eternal after being egged on by Drew, and I want to paint this picture real quick. I had played through Doom 2016 on Nintendo Switch, and I get made fun of for it at work. So when Doom Eternal was announced, and it was announced to have console parity with the Switch, in other words, that it was going to be released on the Switch at the same time as everything else, I was all like, okay, so I guess I'll just play it there, just because I'll have consistency. When that didn't release, I was sort of waiting, and eventually I sort of gave up on waiting and bought it on Stadia. And the entire time that I was waiting, Drew was getting blue-balled violently because he kept wanting to talk about it. And through a combination of Drew being incapable of, not spoiling things, and him not understanding what counts as a spoiler to me, I already had a number of things spoiled. But I ended up playing through the game, mostly because I felt like if I did it any longer, Drew would actually hang himself.
I would.
It's true. But it was an enjoyable experience. The beginning of the game was kind of whatever, but when it got to the point when you have every single tool at your disposal and it gives you the little pop-up message letting you know that you do, that's when the game becomes a game. That's when it's like, okay, we're playing the game. And, yeah, I give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. And Drew got upset with me when I didn't say it was a 10 out of 10. And
because you're bad at video games.
And honestly, I don't even think it's for any particular reason. I guess there's just some aspects of it. This is why I'm not doing a review of it, because I'm I don't even know if I'd be able to quantify why I wouldn't give it a full score. It was a perfectly good game. Enjoyed it the entire way through. But I guess there's just something that I can't quite quantify. I haven't done a whole lot of reviews on this channel, and part of the reason why I'm even discussing these things right now is because I didn't want to put off giving my thoughts. Drew suggested to me that I should give my thoughts, especially on Doom Eternal, but I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to do that, I want to do a review. But this, sort of updating on the situation with the New Year's resolution offered me the chance to be able to explain it without going into depth about, my thinking. Because I guess with a review, I don't think I am personally equipped to be able to talk about a game with objectivity and play. But then again, maybe a reviewer doesn't need to be that way. Maybe you might come to a reviewer because of them as opposed to otherwise. But maybe that's wishful thinking. Let's bounce off of that. If you think I should start doing reviews on this channel, actual reviews, giving my takes on things, let me know in the comments below of this video. And if not, whatever. Just keep going as we're going. So, that's where I'm at with the New Year's resolution, and if I do any other significant games, make more progress, I will probably update this with more. This is Noah. That's my New Year's resolution in work. See ya.